Hi, everyone. I'm John Maceri, the CEO of the People Concern, and it's really my pleasure to welcome you here to our agency on your very first day. I hope that your onboarding experience is going to be wonderful for you. I hope you'll get an opportunity to experience our organization from the inside out, and I hope that the next few days are going to be very informative for you in terms of the kind of organization that we are. I want to start by emphasizing three of our foundational values that we take very seriously here at the People Concern. And those are integrity, pursuit of excellence, and effective team. Throughout your onboarding experience, you're going to hear a lot about our values, about our culture, about expectations. You'll hear the phrase people leaders used a lot. We usually say that instead of managers or supervisors. But for us, leading people is really important. And it's a foundational element to the organizational culture that we have here and that we are continuing to create and build upon. We are an organization that believes in lifelong learning. We've invested very heavily in our training and actually not just training, we were very intentional in calling it learning. And we have a director of learning, not a director of training. So Carrie has been sort of your mistress of ceremonies and your guide through this process, and you've gotten a chance to see her infectious enthusiasm for learning and for being a place of growing and for personal and professional development. So we are going to do everything on our end to create the kind of experience that we want for all of you. But I will say that your experience here as a staff member, and I hope that it will be long and prosperous for you, but it's also going to be dependent on your willingness and ability to be involved. Just like we talk about empowerment with our clients, we also believe in empowerment with our staff. And so we feel it's our obligation and responsibility as an organization to provide lots of learning opportunities for personal and professional growth. And that could be everything from building your professional skills on how to be more effective in your job, to creating opportunities for you to become a people leader, to opportunities for building cultural competency and learning empathy, learning what it means to be a trauma-informed place to work, and also to practice that, understanding what harm reduction is and housing first. You'll hear a lot of these terms, and they're not just phrases, they're the way we actually operationalize, go through not just the onboarding process, but your experience here at the agency throughout the years to give you the opportunity to really practice all of these concepts, which are so fundamental to how we do our work and what we believe in. So let me kind of break down a few of these areas for you. First of all, trauma-informed care, which is really fundamental and is the underpinning of how we do our work, is really based on coming from a place of empathy. So in its sort of simplest form, it is really looking at individuals and not saying what's wrong with you, that you are damaged goods that we are here to fix or repair or rescue. We do not fix or rescue people. We provide the tools and context and support for people to fix, change, and rescue themselves. So trauma-informed care is based on the concept of what happened to you, that we know that the people that we serve have a lot of cumulative trauma in their lives. And as a result of that, the way that manifests itself has a direct impact on our ability to deliver good quality services to them. And so as a staff member, help for you to understand that this is a fundamental shift in the way that we think and the way that we approach people is going to be critically important. So not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. Harm reduction is something that you hear kind of bantered around a lot, and a lot of people misunderstand harm reduction. They think that it is enabling people to use drugs and alcohol, that we think it's okay for people to continue in their addiction, and that we think that that's healthy. Nothing could be further from the truth. Harm reduction is really rooted in the concept that substance addiction is on a continuum. You have complete abstinence on one side, and you have complete using on the other. We recognize that the healthiest outcome for people is not to be addicted to alcohol or drugs, right? It's not going to be conducive to a healthy lifestyle. But we also understand that many people will never get to complete abstinence. So we do not use housing or services as a reward for good behavior. We practice harm reduction so that we help people access the resources and tools they need to be able to move towards abstinence, but understanding if they never get there, that there are tools that they can use to reduce harm to themselves and others. So that is really kind of the flip side of trauma-informed care, is understanding that we're meeting people where they're at and we're walking with them in their journey. This is not just around, drug and alcohol use. It's about how we work with people with serious mental illness, how we work with survivors of domestic violence, is that all of these challenges and barriers in people's lives are the result of trauma. And so we're helping people overcome those barriers and challenges by recognizing that our role is to be one of support and help. The idea of people leaders, I talked about that, and this is something you'll hear a lot about in your onboarding this week, and you will hear a lot about as you go through your work here at the agency. And that's really rooted in expectations of behavior, and both what you can expect from us as people leaders. There is a baseline of expectation and accountability that we hold all of our staff to, myself included. So this is not something that leadership gets to behave one way and we expect staff to behave in another. We do not come from a place of power over, or we don't see our role as people leaders as to dominate our staff or to control our staff. We see our role as to lead our staff and to model for our staff the expectations that we have for ourselves and the expectations that we have for you. So what are some of the characteristics of good people leaders? You'll hear the phrase, clear is kind. We say that a lot. I know that's one of Carrie's favorite sayings. I'm sure you've heard it already. If you haven't, you will. And what we mean by that is that in every aspect of our communication and our expectations, that we're very clear. We're very clear with you as employees, and we need you to be very clear with us as people leaders about what it is you need and want from us to be able to support you in doing your best work and being your best selves. We expect consistency. So that means that your people leaders are communicating and behaving in a way towards staff that they would behave with one another. So it doesn't matter if someone is talking to me, or if you're talking to somebody on the facilities team, or you're talking to a manager in a different department, that our expectation is the way we are with one another is consistent across the organization. We believe, as I said, in trauma-informed care, both in the way we do our work with our clients, but also the way we interact with each other, because all of us experience trauma in our lives as well. There isn't one of us that has gotten through life without experiencing some form of trauma, and in some cases, maybe a lot of cumulative trauma. So we carry that with us, and we carry it into the workplace. And so being able to come from a trauma-informed place in our interactions, both with our clients and with each other, is really important. We expect healthy boundaries. This is a place of a lot of interaction. You'll find that our culture is one of engagement. We like to interact. We like to rumble. We like to get into it and have interactions between staff and people leaders and all people in the organization at all levels of the organization consistently. But that also requires us to have healthy boundaries, to know when our personal triggers are affecting our work, knowing when something that's happening at home or in our personal life is being brought into the workplace. So while we're trauma informed and we want to support one another, we also have to understand that we have to be healthy in order to serve our clients. There's a reason why you put on your own oxygen mask first before you help others, is because you have to have yourself in a good place in order to be able to be of service to others. So these are some of the things. They're certainly not all of the things that we practice here, but I just want you to understand that you're stepping into an organization and into a culture that is very dynamic. We are big believers in creating multiple touch points and multiple opportunities for engagement. And your success here is going to be largely dependent on you being able to take the reins and understanding and to pick and choose what's right for you. So there's lots of opportunities to participate in personal and professional development opportunities here, as well as opportunities for self-care that the agency provides. And that is really important. It's important for you to have healthy work-life balance. As I said before, we cannot, if we are not healthy, we can't be providing healthy, high-quality services to our clients. So it's really important that whatever it is you do to take care of yourself, whether that's hobbies, whether it's family, friends, activities, exercise, whatever it is, it's different for all of us, that you make sure that you maintain some semblance of work-life balance. There are times that you're going to work very hard. There are going to be times where you have deadlines. There are going to be times when you have very challenging clients, and you will feel exhausted and you will feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm saying to you now that it's really important that you figure out early and practice this, that there has to be balance between what's going on here at work and what's going on at home. So those are kind of very high level thoughts that I have. On a personal level, I just will share with you that I've been at the agency now 21 years. I came here at a time where the world was a very different place. That we have always served people experiencing homelessness and victims of domestic violence. We've always worked with people who tend to be very ill and who have a lot of trauma in their lives. So that is not necessarily new. But what has changed over the decades that I've been here is the severity, I think, of the trauma that people are experiencing, and also the cost of living and the challenges around housing for the people we serve have certainly become more difficult as the years have gone on. So you are stepping into an organization that definitely believes in doing the heavy lifting and doing the hard work that it's ahead of us. I am not suggesting or want to create any illusion for you that this is easy work. It is not. It is very difficult work, but it is very rewarding work. I can tell you that there will not be a night that you go home from being here, that you lay your head on the pillow and that you will not be able to honestly say that you did something to help somebody else today. It may not have worked out the way you wanted. It may not have worked out the way they wanted. You may not feel like you were as successful as you wanted to be, but the fact is that each one of us, when we lay our head on the pillow at night, can honestly say we did something to help somebody else to try to improve the quality of their life. And at the end of the day, when we talk about integrity, pursuit of excellence, and effective team, we're really talking about helping people, change their lives. Our tagline on our logo, and it's not just a catchy phrase, is we believe everyone should be housed, healthy, and safe. And we really do believe that. We practice what we preach, and you are part of that now. So as a staff member here at the People Concern, I welcome you. I am extremely excited that you're here. I hope that you will be excited that you're here. I hope that you will take advantage of all the opportunities that are available, that you will progress in your career here, that you will find the work stimulating, frustrating sometimes, rewarding, challenging, and that you will always strive to be better and to do better, because that is a hallmark of our organization. So I just want to say again how excited I am to have you on board. I wish you every success here at the agency, and I look forward to meeting you in person very soon. Have a great day and a great rest of your onboarding. Take care.